Good morning, good evening, and a very good afternoon. It's kind of late actually here. It's 10 o'clock, 3 minutes after the hour of 10, and I've just watched a spirited Olympiacos try their best, but it just goes to show when Arsenal come across a team that's quite expansive, doesn't play with a low block, obviously there's going to be chances there. But also on top of that, when you've got the club captain back again in Martin Odegaard, they've got to keep him fit, to be honest, because he was like the spark, the catalyst in the midfield there. And yes, it was a good performance, a really good performance. And I'm so happy for Martinelli. Really, really happy for Martin. He scores again. Doesn't quite save today because Bukayo Saka came on in the second half and he scored the second goal, which kind of compounded the defeat. Olympiacos. But coming to the live chat, let me know your thoughts about the game. Yes, 2-0. Champions League against Olympiacos. Yeah. We've also done a poll. Who was your man of the match? Looking at probably 80% of the match, I'll probably say David Raya probably had a really good game. Gyökeres, not so much. Martinelli will probably be an easy pick. So maybe David Raya or Martin Odegaard, I would have probably gone for as a man of the match. But I tell you what, this starting 11 here. So Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Zubimendi, Marino, Odegaard, Trossard. I'll get to him in a moment. Martinelli and Gyökeres. Yeah, Gyökeres. Anyway, so that was the starting 11 there. Let me know again your thoughts about the starting 11. Again, who was your man of the match? I think we have the poll is up and running. Let's have a look. So your options are for man of the match are Martinelli, Odegaard, Raya, and Gabriel. If you think I've missed somebody, you can also comment and say, actually, Alex, you missed this person out. I'm only human. I'm only human after all. But looking at this starting 11, it's more than enough, isn't it? And the funny thing is, I kind of looked at the manager, Mikel Arteta, again doing his frenzied stuff, on the sidelines there, and it's interesting to see again when you've got players, you let them off the leash somewhat. I know it's quite scripted. He's got his passive plays. He wants the players to play a certain way. But I'm thinking again, you look at the opposition in Olympiacos, there was no way they were going to play with a low block. A low block means when they're defended in their half quite deep, they don't play like that. Olympiacos do not play like that. So when you're coming across a team like that, they give you, bags and bags of space. And there's so much space. There's so much space. Of course, I was thinking, right, okay, do we have like 12 players on the pitch? No, because we had Martin Odegaard, again, the catalyst in the midfield, just calming things down, it was a good performance. So Arsenal have to keep Martin Odegaard fit. It's going to be a tough one because there's 38 games in the Premier League. In addition to that, the Cup games and the Champions League. But I'm looking at his performance here tonight. Yeah, I'm not going to say Arsenal are going to win the Champions League. I think they'll go quite deep in the competition. I'm not about to say that they're going to win the Premier League. No, they'll come short again. But again, you've got to give them credit where credit is due. But again, I'm looking at this guy who had a torrid time. Not this guy here. Whoops, what's going on here? Let me just quickly remove this. There it is. There it is. Martinelli. He's just... What's happened to Martinelli? He just seems to... And where was he playing this evening? He was playing on the right-hand side. That was so refreshing, Mikel Arteta. So refreshing to see Martinelli popping up on the right-hand side. Not, being the bog standard left-hand side, is going to hold onto the ball, lose the ball, and, give up possession. But on the right-hand side, he looked like a different player. Absolutely different player. So I would probably say maybe he could be my man of the match. But again, when you're coming across or against a team like Olympiacos, who had chances, by the way. I know they had the goal chopped off or chalked off because it was offside, but they had a couple of chances, and David Raya had a really good save. I mean, the save that even our previous goalkeeper would have probably saved, but he had a good performance, a good evening there. But, you know, Gabby Martinelli, wow. Really, really happy for this guy. Really happy for him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go quite early into the live chat and see what everyone's been saying. What's everyone been saying? So I've got Ashley D. Good evening to you, Ashley D. I hope you are well. And we've got Ange. Ange, I hope you're keeping well. What else do we have here? We've got Even Alex. Good to see you back. Thank you for that, Ange. I hope you are keeping well. And Haj, good evening, sister. Big up, bro. Cannon fodder. How are you, bro? Another great performance and job done. Also, fans from India. Well, Haj, if you're going to ask me, can I give Marks out of 10 for the performance? I will give it a strong 8. A very, very strong 8. Based on Martin Odegaard, even the substitutions, you know, Martinelli again popping up on the right-hand side. The starting 11, let me look at the starting 11 again. Let's have a look at the starting 11 again. Let me quickly just remove this. Sorry. So looking at the starting 11 didn't like say, oh my goodness, we're gonna be scoring a bucket loads of goals. But it was an 11 where you can say, if I need to change things from the bench, there's lots of players I can choose. There is quality and depth now in the squad. Because who came on? Bukayo Saka came on, and Erebice Eze also came on as well. I think there was another substitution, I can't remember. But again, that literally, you looking at that, get the job done. Get the job done. Now, the gentleman in the frame there, Gyökeres, he's going to struggle against the top teams. He will struggle against the top teams. Now, he had a couple of chances. There was a slide rule pass by Martin Odegaard that curved around and got to him, and he just took one too many touches of the ball. And I think he had another chance as well. For me, he's still too lumbersome. He's still not fleet-footed. So Gyökeres, for me, he's going to struggle against the top teams. You know, mid-table teams in the Premier League, the lower teams, he will do quite well. He will get his goals there. But again, I'm just getting a feeling that when we got him, he should have been brought to banging the goals against the top teams. He had enough opportunities this evening, but he fluffed his lines. So Gyökeres, yeah, still too lumbersome for me. Too lumbersome. But yeah, so that's the 11 there. What else do I have there? I've done that already. If you're just coming in now, or you probably, I don't know, just woken up, you just seen the alert for Canal Friday TV. Arsenal overcame Olympiacos. Overcame? Well, they beat Olympiacos. And actual fact, I believe that was the last game I saw when Arsenal were in the Europa Cup against Olympiacos. And who was the manager? It was Mikel Arteta. And I coined the phrase the Olympiacos look, because at that time, my memory, it went to injury time, and a particular goalkeeper, I can't remember his name now, kicked the ball out, went for a corner. Olympiacos, they scored in extra time, and it killed us off. And I'm looking at Mikel Arteta, look at the players, he had this look on his face that literally he didn't know what to do. And I coined the phrase the Olympiacos look. But give credit where credit is due. The performance this evening was really, really good. Wasn't excellent, but it was really, really good. I'm thinking, was the pitch over water because the players were slipping all over the place? They were slipping all over the place. Anyway, we go onwards. Let's go onwards in the let's have a look in the live chat. Was not that impressed. So one shot in the first half, and that was the goal. Yeah, I mean, up until, because I think Trossard also had an opportunity, didn't he? He cut in, and the goalkeeper saved it with his left hand. And it deflected off the defender, so that was that chance there. And I think Martinelli also had a chance, didn't he? I think he had a chance that he fluffed as well in the first half. But to be honest, up until that point, I was thinking, Olympiacos had a couple of opportunities. Again, looking at the midfielders and the attackers, when the ball came to them in the final third, it's like it went off their boot, went off their heel, their shin. So a little bit more competence on the ball, I think they would have scored a goal. But yeah, you're right. Up until that point, I was just thinking, oh, right, it's going to be 1-0. 1-0 to the Arsenal. But he wasn't impressed. Interesting. Vincey, good evening to you, fella. Ollie did much better. Yes, they did. The funny thing is, Vincey, it's like when the second half began, it's like they had like the wind in their sails. I was thinking they've gone up a notch, but they just couldn't score the goal. They could not score the goal. But good evening to you, fella. I hope you are well. But they did a lot better in the second half as well. Yes, they did. They did indeed. Funny old game. Had some moments. Was it Odegaard? All right. Since Martinelli has changed position, he's scored a lot more. Has he changed his position? I don't think he hasn't changed his position. We're just using him now as a super sub, all bar in this game team because he. Let me just kind of get this right. Yeah, all bar in this game, he started, but all the other games he's coming as a sub. So it's not so much, I think, is his position. It's just that he's coming on, in reinvigorated. We need that energy, we need the goal, and he's come up in the right place at the right time to score the goal. I think. Ancelotti is what happened to Nelly. It's a beautiful thing. Do you know what, Vincey? I had a good conversation with a gentleman who's in the WhatsApp group, and we were talking about managers. Which manager could come in again? I know I'm getting off topic here, but we were talking about Man United, and he said, well, if it's going to be Southgate to stabilize the United ship, then maybe Ancelotti could have come in afterwards. But that ship has also sailed as well. He hasn't been with him long, and you can see the big difference. Yeah. But the thing is, Vincey, it's what happens when you've got a top-notch, experienced manager, stroke coach, coaching his players. Mikel Arteta, experience. Let's move on. Alex seems happy for once. Listen, Apollo, good evening to you. When Arsenal do well, I would say Arsenal do well. When Arsenal do bad and have bad performance, I will call them out and say the manager didn't choose the right 11, they didn't play well, and for some reason people don't like it. Yeah, but I have a right to my opinion. They had a good performance. It wasn't a great performance. It was a good performance. Odegaard has changed position. He now plays along behind the striker. Yeah, but I think the comment there was about Martinelli, not Odegaard. I don't think he's changed his position. He's come on as super sub. Again, when we're needing, more energy, we're needing the goal. And he's proved that all bar in this game. Yeah, he started. Alex, there's also some good in bad performance. Well, you know what? I'm going to try and focus. I'm going to focus on the positive because Arsenal won. They played very, very well. I think part is something to do with the Olympiacos. They play very expansive football, and with that, you give up space. There is no low block with Olympiacos, and they're going to give you chances. They're going to give you bags of space, and that is how Arsenal thrive. Arsenal thrive on expansive football when there's spaces. They're not being pressured so much. But this is what happens. But it was a good performance. Okay, well, let me check and see where do we stand with. Let's have a look with the voting. I might have gone a little bit too soon. I'm not sure, but we've had 4 votes so far. Martinelli, Odegaard, Raya, and Gabriel Magalhães. And let's have a look here. So no votes for Gabriel Magalhães. Tied on 25% of the votes is David Raya and Martinelli, and on 50% of the votes is Martin Odegaard. Now, let me remove this. And truth be told as well, again, I've got to give a little bit of a prop to Mikel Arteta. I think he made, because Mourinho came off, didn't he? And he started to make the changes, I think, on the 60th minute, 58, 59 minutes, something like that. So I'm not sure whether someone said to him, "Oi, people have been complaining about you making changes too late." But yeah, he made the changes, and yeah, good luck to him. I thought Olympiacos were quality. They were all barring they just couldn't score. Well, they scored a goal which was ruled just offside, and the David Raya save that I think even our previous #1 goalkeeper would have saved. Yeah, they just couldn't put the ball into the net. Right. So if you go onto the platform, go onto YouTube, you'll see on the community tab we have put the vote there. Go and vote. Or if you think I have missed somebody out, because actually, Alex, you've missed this player or players out. Eberici came on, didn't make much of an impact. Bukayo Saka came on, he scored the 2nd goal. Gyökeres, for me, he's going to struggle. He will struggle against the top teams. How do I know? Because I've seen it. Right. Okay. What's this? Can we remove this? We'll refresh the page here. Okay. So whilst that is loading, oops, is that it? Oh, right. So there's been some changes. We've had an additional 2 votes. Magalhães now, is tied now on 17% of the votes with Martinelli. Wow, what's happened there? And Odegaard and David Raya are also tied on 33% of the votes. That's based on 6 votes. Okay. Okay, enjoy yourself. Enjoy. Glock did well with the goal, and Nelly scored, showed great strength. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'm just looking at. Got to keep Martin Odegaard free from injury. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough season because when Madueke is out injured, and there's been a flurry of injuries. So I think the key for Arsenal this season, particularly this season, as we've got all these so-called upgrades, is to keep Martin Odegaard free from injury. And it doesn't mean that he has to play all the games in the Premier League. Doesn't mean he has to play all the games in the Champions League. Need to manage him. Got to manage, his time on the pitch. But that's going to be the key for Arsenal. I believe keeping Martin Odegaard free from injury. What you saying now? What you saying? On my screen, Raya is 43%. Let's have a look. That's possibly because somebody has voted. No, here we have 8 votes now. Odegaard is on 38%, so is Raya. And Martinelli and Gabriel Magalhães are down to 13% each. Doesn't say it here. Encouraging to see Odegaard more on the left. He needs to travel and not stay on the right with Saka. But something else I also noted, Vincey. And this part of his game is very, very frustrating. Well, at least for me, is that when he's come out from the pocket and he was on the left a couple of times, he had a clear chance to have a shot on goal. And rather than having a shot on goal, he passed it to the right or he passed it to the left. I'm thinking, gee, just have a shot on goal, because you never know. If the goalkeeper saves it, it might come to somebody else and they can slot it in the goal. Have a shot on goal. Have a shot on goal. Oh, my goodness. Right, just a few more minutes. Wrap up this one. Let me just refresh this page again to see. Right, so Ashley, I'm not sure which screen you're watching, but it says we're still stuck on 8 votes. Martinelli and Gabriel are tied on 13%. Odegaard and Raya are tied on 38% for man of the match. Hugely frustrating on his better side. Man, just have a shot on goal. Yeah, just have it. There's no one near to you. You're in the pocket. You're basically free. Just have a shot on goal. Have a shot on goal. Unless he's probably scared he might get fined for having a shot on goal rather than passing the ball. Okay. Right. So those of you who just come in again, I'll just run for a few more minutes. Arsenal beat Olympiacos in the Champions League. We are doing an instant post-game reaction. 2 goals by the Arsenal, 1 from Martinelli. I'm trying to forget how it came across now. I think he had a shot or someone had a shot, and then he chased it down. He just kind of flicked the ball into goal. And Bukayo Saka, I think it went through the goalkeeper's leg, so he nutmegged the goalkeeper. And they always say, if you're going to have a shot, have it hard and low, or low and hard. And that's what he did. Being that he didn't start, he came on in the second half. And yeah, I thought it was a really good performance. Olympiacos were quite spirited. They came out second half, you know, looking invigorated, but they just couldn't score the goal. Couldn't score the goal, unfortunately. Right, we're going to run just for a few more minutes. Again, guys, go and vote to your heart's content on the platform. YouTube, let me refresh the page and see. Let's have a look. Right, so yeah, so we're still on. Let's have a look here. Right, so here are some other results in the Champions League. No way. They drew. Well, I saw it was 2-1. It was 2-1. So in the end, they actually drew. Yeah, Newcastle got a good result, 4-0. Away from home as well. Away from home. Saka, before the goal, had a similar shot when the defender blocked his shot. Better movement for the goal from Saka. And 2-2. Right. Okay, thank you for that. Let me see if I can. Uday scored the pen in injury time for Monaco. Dyer, oh my goodness. What can I say? Sorry about this. Let me just remove this. I'm not sure why, my brother. Do you know what? I'm not sure why. Google sends me these notifications now about Victor Gyökeres. I must have done something, and it says that Victor Gyökeres in 90 minutes, 3 shots, of course, no goals and no assists. So I'm not sure why they're sending me information about Victor Gyökeres, his stats. Yeah. City and Liverpool are all over the place at the moment. Kind of going off topic, I've still an outside chance. I think Man City might win the Premier League. With all this stuff going on between, you know, Liverpool still, you know, they're misfiring. They're not performing to the optimum level, and I believe it's because they brought so many new players. They're still not gelling. You know, and of course you saw they lost against Crystal Palace. You know, Arsenal, for me, they're not going to win. Again, mainly because if you've got a striker, why would you buy a striker? You want to buy a striker to score goals, irrespective of who he is playing or who they're playing against. Victor Gyökeres is going to struggle against the top teams. And then you've got to think about the injuries as well. Now, I'm not sure whether Mikel Arteta is going to take all the cup competitions serious. They're back in the Champions League, on top of the Premier League. So for me, Arsenal are not going to win. They're not going to win the Premier League. Surprise, surprise, Crystal Palace are in third place in the Premier League. Is it sustainable? Glasner, if he secures top 4 for the Palace, the Super Eagles, the Eagles, at the end of the season, this guy, manager of the season. Manager of the season. Forget about Chelsea. Chelsea, no, what's happened to Chelsea? Tottenham have an outside chance. Who else is there? I've forgotten who else there is. But yeah, Man City, I think for me, have an outside chance. With all this stuff going on, the best thing for Pep Guardiola is to remain under the radar, and they go about their business. I haven't put any money on them to win, actually. I need to put some money on Man City to win the Premier League. Anyway, last few comments. Glock has played a lot of minutes in each game. Hope he's got enough for Palace, as that game will be back and forth. Oops. Why can't Arteta manage the squad in domestic cups to win? Is this not a mark of his coaching? It's not his. I don't think it's his coaching, Vincy. I just think his mentality and his approach to his competitions. He just doesn't take it serious. I'm thinking, wasn't the League Cup the first cup that George Graham won? I know we don't have a good, reputation in the League Cup, but take the cup competition serious. So I'm not sure whether it's about his coaching. It's about his attitude towards those cup competitions. It's ridiculous. Take it serious. Take it serious. Yes, dynasties are one with this. Do you know what? You're preaching to the converted, Vincy. I don't know whether I can get Mikel Arteta on this call. All right, do you know what? Let's have a last look at the voting to see if there's been any changes in the numbers. Let's have a look. We're still stuck on 8 votes. I'm just thinking, shall I? See, can I? Sorry about that. If I can do a live vote in the chat, am I able to do that? Let's have a look. Okay, I can do it. Yes. Okay, Raya, Martinelli, and who was the other one? Oops. Right, a quick one, just to kind of wrap it up. But there's the voting for your man of the match in the live chat. So let's just see where we get through for the next couple of minutes. And there we are. And again, if you're just coming in, Olympiacos beaten 2-0. A kind of cheeky flick goal by Martin. Again, I think he scored in 3 consecutive matches now, hasn't he? And then the second goal was Bukayo Saka, who did not start. You can see by the starting 11 there. He didn't start. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Luis Skelly, Zubimendi, Mourinho, Odegaard, Trossard, Martinelli, and Gyökeres. Trossard, we've always debated whether Trossard should start or does he come on as a super sub, where he started in this game, had an okay game. He also had an opportunity to slot home a goal, but he just kind of dilly-dally, cut in, shot with his right foot, and then the goalkeeper flapped it with his left hand, then came off the defender and went behind for a corner. So, yes. All right, let's have a look here. Right, okay. Do you know what? I believe we have come to an end. So that's it from me. I will be back doing the Easter talk, not this Friday. It'll be the following Friday. Look out for the notifications. If you haven't subscribed to Cannon 4 TV, you don't have to, but if you don't want to miss out on the content, subscribe and click the notification button. We are going live almost every other Friday. We've got a new panel of guests. We did these talk last week. Friday was really, really good. We had a Yorkshire Gunner with her wonderful knowledge about football. You know, she knows a lot more about Arsenal than I do. And it's okay. It's all right. So look out for that. If you are watching and you are probably thinking, oh, actually, you know what? I wouldn't mind being a guest on Cannon 4 TV. You can always send me an email. The email is in the description box below. But until then, before going, let me just quickly check. Quick look. I just need to remind myself. Oops. Yep. So I will be doing an instant post-game reaction on Saturday when we play at home against the Hammers. Now, is there going to be a new manager bounce? Because Nuno Espirito Santo is now the manager of West Ham. It remains to be seen. Anyhow, people, this has been Cannon for the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.